As global pressure mounts on Islamabad, China has now sent its vice foreign minister to Pakistan. China claims that they have sent an emissary for communication with Pakistan on the ongoing tensions with India. It says that a sound relationship between India and Pakistan is required for a stable South Asia. Jumping to Islamabad's defense, Beijing also encouraged Pakistan's efforts in combating terror. India's top court has reserved its order on Ayodhya Ram Temple case on mediation. A 5-judge bench headed by Chief Justice Ranjan Gogoi has requested all the petitioners to give the names of mediators for reaching a peaceful settlement. U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen testified before the House Homeland Security Committee, where she was grilled about the controversial immigration policies that resulted in children being separated from their parents. Nielsen is the highest-ranking Trump official to be questioned by Congress since Democrats took control of the House of Representatives. She told the panel that there have been more apprehensions of illegal migrants in the first 6 months of this year than all of last year put together. According to a new report, North Korea has restored part of a missile launch site that it was earlier dismantling. A recent briefing by South Korea's spy agency noted that North Korea has started restoring structures at its Sohae satellite launching station. The North had previously started to dismantle the rail-mounted transfer building on the launch pad along with the engine test stand last year. But based on commercial satellite imagery, efforts to rebuild these structures started sometime between 16th February and 2nd March. Reacting to the latest reports, U.S. President Donald Trump has said that he would be very disappointed in North Korean leader Kim Jong-un if reports about rebuilding a rocket launch site in North Korea were true. A second summit between Trump and Kim broke down last week in Hanoi over differences on how far North Korea was willing to limit its nuclear program and the degree of U.S. willingness to ease sanctions. Turkish foreign minister has said that Turkey's allies should not intervene with Ankara's purchase of defense systems from non-NATO countries. The comments come after the US State Department warned Turkey that it will reassess Ankara's participation in the F-35 fighter program if it purchases the Russian S-400 air defense system. Venezuela's government expelled the German ambassador as embattled President Nicolas Maduro cracks down on a challenge to his rule. Ambassador Daniel Krener was expelled 2 days after he and diplomats from other embassies welcomed home opposition leader Juan Guaido at Caracas airport. Accusing him of meddling in internal affairs, the Venezuelan government declared Krener persona non grata and gave him 48 hours to leave the country. Large groups of women and children were seen on the outskirts of Bahus a day after they fled the Islamic State's final stronghold in Syria. The civilian escapees were waiting to be redirected to a camp which is under the control of the US-backed Syrian Democratic Forces. The SDF said more than 6,000 people, mostly civilians, had escaped since the SDF opened a safe corridor on March 5th. Islamic State claimed responsibility for an attack that killed 16 people in Afghanistan's Nangarhar province. Yesterday, suicide bombers and gunmen attacked a construction company office in the Afghan city of Jalalabad, killing 16 employees of the Afghan company. 5 terrorists were also killed in this attack. The attack happened even as the United States and Afghanistan continue to hold negotiations towards a peace treaty. EU Chief Negotiator Michel Barnier says no solution has been found so far to break the deadlock over Brexit. The statement comes after the latest negotiations took place in Brussels. Barnier informed commissioners with the EU's executive arm that no solution has been identified at this point that is consistent with the withdrawal agreement. A day after suspicious packages were sent to 3 British airports, now suspicious packages have been sent to 2 universities and the headquarters of the Royal Bank of Scotland. A section of the University of Essex has been evacuated after police received reports of a suspicious package. Police in Scotland said suspicious packages were found at the university and at a bank building. Police Scotland confirmed later that the package posed no risk to the public. A Canadian judge set Huawei Technologies Chief Financial Officer Meng Wanzhou's next court date for May 8th at a brief court appearance. Canada arrested Meng on December 1st at the request of the United States, kicking off a diplomatic dispute with China. Meng and Huawei are accused in the United States of conspiring to violate U.S. sanctions. Both deny the allegations following Meng's arrest. China arrested 2 Canadians on national security grounds and sentenced another to death. Former Nissan chief Carlos Ghosn got bail after 3 months of detention in a Tokyo jail. Ghosn was granted bail for a whopping $9 million. The 65-year-old faces 3 charges of financial misconduct over allegations he underreported his compensation and tried to shift losses to Nissan's accounts. Ghosn has denied the charges. Tunisia will hold parliamentary elections on October 6th and presidential polls on November 10th. This is the 3rd round of national voting since the country's 2011 revolution. The Election Commission has said that if a presidential candidate does not win outrightly in the first round, the second round will follow within 2 weeks. Under its 2014 constitution, Tunisia must hold legislative elections within 2 months of Parliament's mandate expiring between October and early December. Hundreds of passengers were stranded at Kenya's main international airport after a strike caused major disruption to flights. The military was deployed to try to overcome the industrial action at Nairobi International Airport. Kenya Airways said most of its affected departing flights had been rescheduled. However, some regional flights have been cancelled. The workers are protesting about plans to merge the airport and the national airline. The government condemned the strike as illegal. Germany has extended a temporary ban on arms exports to Saudi Arabia imposed due to concerns about the kingdom's role in the killing of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. The embargo was due to expire on March 9, but Germany's foreign minister said that the ban was being extended until the end of March to give the government time to evaluate Saudi Arabia's military involvement in Yemen's war. Over 60 guards have blocked access to a prison in northwest France after an inmate grievously injured 2 of their colleagues in a knife attack. The guards were seen torching tires outside a high-security prison in Normandy. According to authorities, the attacker had been radicalized while in prison. Nearly 2,000 people took part in a silent march in France after 2 teenagers died in a scooter accident during a police chase. Their deaths sparked 3 nights of violence in this French southeastern city. The 2 young men aged 17 and 19 were not wearing helmets when they were crushed between a coach and a wall on a bridge as they fled the police on a stolen scooter on Saturday evening. Argentina's new school year, scheduled to start on Wednesday, was widely postponed until next week by a 3-day strike by teachers who say their wages are not keeping up with inflation. Only 6 of the country's 24 provinces started classes on time, with Argentina in recession and inflation clocked at more than 47% last year. The economy is the main election issue. In Buenos Aires, Argentina's biggest province, teachers received a 32% raise in 2018 and wanted an additional 16% increase before negotiating their 2019 contract. Hundreds of people welcomed the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge to the seaside as they visited Blackpool town. Prince William and Catherine were in the Lancashire resort to see health and social problems facing the town. Despite the rain, crowds waited hours on the promenade to see the pair who started their trip at the Blackpool Tower. Italy has returned nearly 600 folk religious paintings to the Mexican government in a ceremony at the Italy's Ministry of Cultural Heritage. The Italian Minister of Cultural Heritage and Activities returned the paintings to his Mexican counterpart. The authors of the religious paintings, dating back between the 18th and 20th century, are unknown. The works were bought from several churches in Mexico between 1960 and 1970 by an art collector from Milan.